Hello, everyone. We are here today with two goalkeepers from Wider University, Samantha Kuhn, as well as Aston Huberry. Both of you guys, welcome to the meeting. Hope you guys are doing well.
Yeah.
Aston has been on the series of calls once before, and we had discussed some things as far as how she was approaching college life because at the time she was a between freshman to sophomore year. Being that she's back, we'll handle some different issues. And also, Samantha is Sam for short, by the way. She is a first time honored, so we do appreciate both of you guys taking the time to come on here and share your experiences in hopes that you can help other incoming freshmen or even high school players that are looking for some kind of insight as to how to approach college life. So once again, thank you very much. So we'll just start off with a brief introduction of you guys. What year you're in, your high school experience, how you came to go to Widener, just to give everybody a kind of a background idea. So Sam, let's start with you.
My name is Samantha Kuhn. I'm gonna be a sophomore in the fall, a criminal justice major. My high school played soccer for 4 years, was a goalie for 4 years in high school. Um, Entering college, I wasn't actually gonna go to college because I didn't think school was for me. But then Fran and Dan came along and they recruited me to play soccer. So then that's how I became into Widener.
So Fran and Dan, let's define that. Who are they?
Uh, Dan was the head coach my freshman year, and then Fran is the assistant coach.
So Fran was more in charge of recruiting.
Yes.
Okay. So did they find you at a high school game, a showcase game? How did they come up on you?
My high school head coach like put my name out there, and like Fran is friends with teachers and coaches at my high school. So then my name got thrown around between them. So then that's how I met Fran.
Okay. So is it something in particular he said that he changed your mind? That you said that you really didn't have, college wasn't in your plans. But is it something that he changed? He said to change your mind to persuade
Um,
you, or is it something that what
I
exactly
think
happened? Let's put it this way. And why was not college in your plans? I mean, you're a good goalkeeper.
I've just never been like the school type of person. Like I thought after high school, like I was done with school forever because I was gonna join the military like right after high school. So I was like, all right, like no college for me. I'm done with school. Never have to like read a book again. And then I always wanted to play college soccer. That's always been like a dream of mine. So then I didn't really put the effort out there to like put my name to different schools and colleges, which I do regret now because I could like have all these offers everywhere else, but I didn't like do that. Um, but then once I got into contact with Fran, I feel like I was influenced because I could have done, or I'm doing like ROTC now, and I'm playing soccer, and I'll join the military in 4 years. So it's like a win-win for me.
How about the fact that you went from I don't want anything to do with school, with now being back in school and doing classes? How have you dealt with that transition?
I like it. Everyone did say college is different than high school. And now that I'm in college, it is so different. Like you get to pick classes, you get to pick what you want to do. Everything that like you pick is in your interest, which I like. Um, so I'm glad like I did come to school.
Sounds to me like when you were in high school, you weren't really fed up with going to school. You were fed up with doing classes that you may not have had interest in, but they were mandated. Is that accurate?
Yes.
So that coming to college and picking the classes that you're interested in and the curriculum that you're interested in kind of change your perspective.
Yes.
That's cool. That's very cool. So, yeah, well, listen, we're glad to have you at Widener. That's for sure. And obviously, Coach Dan and Coach Fran did a very good job in recruiting you. So, and I want to touch a couple points before I go to Aston. But, it's crucial because a lot of families, they believe that, college has to be pre planned and there is a benefit to starting a college recruiting process early, obviously, right? But someone like you is a perfect example because you thought that you weren't even going to go to college. You're kind of fed up, and someone came along that kind of changed your mind. And would you say that you're better off today than if he didn't come to persuade you?
Yes, for sure.
Why?
Um, because after high school, I had like, yeah, I wanted the military, but I had no plans. I literally didn't know what I wanted to do, when I wanted to do it. And I feel like now in college and having Fran and Dan around, they gave me like the structure I needed in college is giving me the structure I needed like every day, getting my degree, getting everything set for my future. So I do feel like college and all the Widener coaches did like impact me.
So it's pretty safe to say that the Widener coaching staff exposed you to opportunities that you didn't think would be possible. Like you wanted to go in the military, and you didn't realize you could do that while going through college. Is that accurate to say?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a very good point because, like I said, a lot of parents only think there's one way to approach it. And obviously, you're a perfect example because, you're doing a, different way. You weren't even thinking about going to college. So having the coaching staff come in and open up, and discuss different opportunities, all of a sudden, you realize that, wait a minute, I can do all this stuff and I can do it on my terms. Is that safe to say?
Yes.
Cool. Anything else that you want to add to in that particular point?
No.
No? Oh, cool. So let's move to Aston. Aston, give us a quick synopsis of your background and where you are now. What are you doing?
So, my name is Ashton, and I am a junior now, and I'm a physical therapy major. So, I actually have 5 more years of school to still go through because I have 3 years of graduate school to do. My high school, I played goalie my entire life, but when I got to high school, it was a little like wishy-washy over there, and there was a lot of problems. So I actually played midfield for my high school, which was so fun and got me into like really great shape and made me learn to like know the game from the player's perspective rather than just a goalie perspective, which I've always loved. And then I also played for a college showcase team for about the same team for about 5 years, and that's where I was recruited from. And actually, our head coach at the time, Dan, recruited me, not Fran. But high school for me wasn't something that like really was an impact in my soccer career. It was more so my college showcase team. And I chose Widener because it fit my academic needs and my athletic needs while still being close enough to home for my family to come and watch me play and stuff like that. So here I am, a junior, still playing.
You enjoying your college experience so far, although you were
Yes.
stuck with a year of COVID?
Yes, I love it so much. I wouldn't change it for anything.
Nice, nice. So, this is a great call actually because you have two different scenarios coming in and two different pathways coming into college. With you, Aston, kind of knowing that you wanted to go and play college ball, and you play for a showcase team, and blah blah blah. And Sam, basically, you kind of were feeling that, yeah, maybe I'm not going to go to college. I don't see college in my plans. I'm going to go to military, but here comes the coach and expose you to an opportunity that, you can still go to military through college. And, my experience, I've had one player where he was looking to become a helicopter pilot, right? And he thought he was going to go in the military directly. And he didn't realize that they also do require to have some college background. So he actually wind up going to a different college, which he was found through some I guess contacts that I have, and they came to see him in one of our games, and he got recruited and he went to college, and hopefully he'll be finishing and going to become a helicopter pilot. So there are a lot of options, and I think that would you guys say that it's important for every family and every player to do their homework and search different ways and opportunities, or just follow one path? What would you say?
I would say like looking at all your options is super important and finding what works for you, because what works for me might not work for somebody else, and you have to find what works for you. And like for me, when I was looking at a bunch of schools, I was looking all over and at the time I didn't even know what I wanted to do in school, so I had to look at every different education plan I could look at because I was like, I have no clue what I want to do. So I think it's important to really look at everything to find what works for you. But
How about you, Sam?
No, I agree with everything Ashton said. Like, it's important to like even if your family did one thing, like it's okay for you to do like the other. Like my whole family, like they didn't go to college, went straight into the military. My sister was the first one that like went to college. So I thought joining the military was like, all right, that's what my family did. Like that's what I have to do. So then college, that's why like college wasn't in my view. But then like I do think it's important for every family to like look at every option they have, search for every school that has like their interest. And like, even if they don't have one major you want to look at, like look at different majors just in case.
Good point. Good point. One of the things I always talk about with younger players, when I say younger players, I'm talking about anybody, in the high school, 14 years and over age, where they're about to go to high school, they are in high school, possibly entertaining, ideas of going to college to play or what have you. One of the things I always say is find yourself a mentor. And when I say find yourself a mentor, I'm not talking about, all guys like myself or other college coaches that, we're a bit older than you guys, but I talk about find yourself a mentor like yourselves, where you're only a year or two older than they are. Even if it's somebody who just enter college as a freshman and is only a few months ahead of a senior or junior, you know what I mean? But it kind of gives you a framework, because that player or that student athlete has been into the college system and he's only, a few months or a year ahead of that high school student, So that mentorship, it might be even more important because you guys are living the lifestyle of a student athlete, in college, and you are into the system. You guys are into the grind right now, where us as coaches, yes, we have a perspective, but, can we relate as much as you guys can to those upcoming high schoolers that are looking to go to college? I personally would love to have this videos serve as a purpose where you guys kind of mentor, younger players through these videos, I'm hoping to possibly come up with a program where young, student athletes like yourselves could have a direct mentorship, with a younger player, so I think it's a very important thing. Now, my next question would be, what do you guys think? Or give us some ideas of incoming freshmen. What do you guys think they should do prior to that freshman year? To that first preseason soccer camp. What did you guys do? Did you guys do something specific? Did you, contact with other college students and kind of find out? I know that the coaching staff of every college program always gives something, a framework, for lack of a better word, to the incoming freshmen on what to do. But what exactly do you guys do? And what advice do you give to other, incoming freshmen? Let's go with Sam first.
Go ahead, Sam.
All right. So for me, I never had a college preseason yet. Like this, fall will be my first college preseason.
Explain why.
Because of COVID, like it hit my senior year to freshman year of college. So I didn't really get to meet the team until spring semester freshman year. So I know like it was difficult for me because I was like preparing myself. I was following the packets Coach Dan sent out, which is like track workouts, different like ab workouts to do to get you in shape, like running the Man U. So it was really hard because I did all that work and then not to have a preseason, it like put me down some. But then like come the spring, I knew like I had to get back into it. We had a 4-game season. So all that work did pay off. So I guess some advice I'd give to the incoming freshmen, including myself, is to keep doing those packets, keep running, keep working out. Because I know when the fall comes, it's game time. Like we have games to play, we have practices, you have to fight for a starting spot. So you just got to do everything you can.
Can you, for the ones that don't know what a packet is, can you explain what that is?
So the past, 2 years now, a year and a half, we got a summer like workout fitness packet to do. And it has different like track workouts, grass workouts, soccer workouts, has like ab workouts, leg work, like a bunch of different workouts for you to do to stay in shape and get ready for the preseason.
Okay. And by the way, for everybody who's watching this interview, that's something that you can just go ahead and Google. I mean, you can just Google preseason college packet and you'll get a bunch of them because they're, almost every university, every college program has one of those packets. And if you Google it, you'll be able to find it online. So it's not like a particular secret formula that, the best universities have for soccer success. It's just common stuff. It's just structured. So you don't have to sit there and, try to figure out what you should do each day, or kind of takes the guesswork out, and they're done through the college levels. They're done professionally, and, it's no magic sauce. Ashton, what about you?
Basically just going off of what Sam said, like in the end, hard work really does pay off, as much as you probably already hear that. It really does. Like, and my biggest advice would be like staying consistent. Like, you might wake up one day and be like, I don't want to do this today. I don't want to go outside and run. It's 95 degrees and it's not what I want to do today. But in the end, come August and we have practice at 12 o'clock in the afternoon on the turf, it's 95 degrees and you're going to be running in it then. So you might as well get used to it over the summer. And I think that really helped me. Like Sam said, last summer, I worked my butt off every day for our season to get canceled, which was like super devastating, but I didn't let it bring me down. I still worked for it. And here we are a year later and we have a season now. So you just have to keep working towards your goals and set little goals to reach to end up getting to your big goals, rather than setting a super far out goal and it taking you forever to reach it, because it's just going to bring you down, rather than you hitting these small goals, and you'll reach what you want to do and it'll definitely pay off. I account for that.
Right. So based on, and you had a preseason as a freshman, that was your first, that was the first time I met you. So based on that experience, did you do something different going into your, anticipated sophomore preseason, although it didn't happen? Did you do something different because of, how it went through your freshman year? And if so, what was it?
I would say going my freshman year, well, one, I was like super panicked, which I would tell incoming freshmen now, do not panic. Like, you're only human. But I was super panicked, and I think that made it worse over the summer for me, because every time I would run, all I was thinking about was like, oh my God, like I'm not ready. And come preseason, I didn't feel ready. So on the next, what we were going to have was a preseason. I made sure to just calm myself down and be like, I can do this, blah, blah, blah. And I made sure to run more, get what I need to get done. And rather than like putting myself down, like I can't do it, I knew I can. So that's what I would say to incoming freshmen, for me, who's someone who had a preseason, is don't panic. Like, everybody goes through it. We've all been there, and just do the best you can.
Do you guys find yourselves as being goalkeepers? Do you find yourselves having to do certain things differently to get ready for preseason than, let's say, field players? And if so, what?
Yeah, I would say, like, we have to be just as fit as they do. We run the same fitness test, but then it's also like I also have to be fit enough to do what I need to do in the goal too. So personally, I would say it's more work, but I would say like now I lift a lot more and do a lot more like stuff that we would mimic in goalkeeper training. But I also have to run just like the field players do, because I have to do the same thing that they have to do too. So
Sam?
I would say the same thing that Ashton said. And from having the little time I spent with you during the spring, I know I've been doing like more burpees, push-ups, jumping, just like the workouts no one would think to do. So
why do you think those things are important, and why, are you being told to do those things?
Because as a goalie, you got to get up and down real quick.
There you go.
As
okay. Yeah. That's a great point, by the way. And I'm in the middle of training 2 goalkeepers for preseason right now. So my plan, which again, they're not, they're going to be their first year as freshmen, right? So my course of action is that what I did for them is I chose actually an area, and I don't know if you guys ever thought about that, that is heavily wooded, a lot of trees. And the reason why I chose that area is because we actually do some fitness work in the woods where there is no oxygen. If you guys, since you guys are both, Ashton, more in the science, you know that oxygen is sucked by the trees, right? So when you go in that environment, you can hardly breathe. It's very difficult to breathe. So doing, those activities in the woods, and what we focus on is short, you know, short activities like little 5 yard sprints, maybe plyometrics, jumping up and down. I bring a little thing into the woods, and the activities that we do on the soccer field, which is strictly, explosive activities for goalkeepers, cardio, core, plyometrics, they do it in the woods. And 5 minutes in there feels like an hour because of that lack of oxygen. And then when we come out of the woods, it's just like they just catch a different, another big breath because that oxygen increases. Also, the level where they're training on. I know that we did some previously with other goalkeepers. We've done training on turf, but this year I chose to basically go on grass, which is softer soil, and it's much heavier. So basically, the environment that they're training on is a lot more difficult. So when they go to their, the universities, and they are going to be training on turf, it's going to be a lot easier. So again, the reason why I'm doing that is because just like you guys, and you can appreciate that, as soon as you guys go to preseason, you know that within 5 days you have your first scrimmage. Correct?
Mhm.
You guys been given your spring schedule yet?
Yeah.
Within 5 days, you get your first scrimmage, right? So you have 5 days from the minute you come in on campus, and this is with almost pretty much even Division I schools. You go one in, and within a week to 10 days, you're already playing. Okay, same thing with Division II, Division III. Within 5 days, you're playing. So there's no learning curve. There's not enough time to say, well, I want to get in shape when I go to on campus. You have to be there before you arrive. So that was my planning. All right. So for the next, 2 to 3 weeks, they're going to work in that setting. This way, when they go to preseason, they're going to fly through it. And Ashton, you've been there where, doing that fitness test at 102 degrees, it's very difficult.
Very difficult.
Okay. And what happens? Well, at least when I coach, what happens if you don't pass that fitness test? What happens?
You basically kill us.
No, I don't say that.
No.
There's just more work to be done.
Yeah.
We have to because let's be honest. Yes. How are you going to be able to play in a game if you're not physically fit? So if you don't pass that test, the fitness test, by the way, and I had an interview with another player that I coached at the high school. Actually, he was an academy level player that I coached, and he he got recruited to go to a college, and he made a very good point. He basically said that the fitness test is just a measure of how fit you are. Okay, that's what it is. And after that, if you're not fit, college will get you in shape because the college game is a lot faster, right? It's a lot more difficult. Would you say how many levels, higher is it than high school ball? What would you guys say?
A lot, I would say. I mean, personally, with my high school, we were nowhere near the college level. I mean, I know some other high schools are better than probably we were in the teams that we played, but personally, the college level is way higher and faster paced than my high school level.
Sam?
My high school, like our level was more like competitive and not like fast. So I see the competitiveness is like equal, but then the fast pacedness is like more up there.
What would you say, Sam? What would you say the two biggest difference between college ball and high school ball, in your opinion?
Definitely the practices and like the intenseness at practice, to work towards like the games. And then I don't know. The coaching styles, that was a big thing to get used to.
Okay. Ashton? What would you say the biggest difference between college and high school?
I would say one for me would be the commitment it takes. Not only like the time you have to put in, but also like the people who are playing college ball, like they want to be there, they want to win, they want to play good, and they want to be better. Where at the high school level, it's more like, I'm here, I'm in high school, just playing a sport, whatever. So I would say the commitment is a big one. And the pace of the game, it would be my second one, because like I said before, my high school is like slow pace. I mean, I played the field for my high school and I've been a goalie my whole life. So if I played the field for college ball, I would probably get walked all over.
I would agree with you as well, both of you guys. I definitely agree that the pace of the game is much faster. Also, the pace of the shots, the velocity of the shots, okay, and also the fact that college soccer players are able to fire shots away at the goalkeepers 30 yards out very successfully. So if you don't have that, you know, if you don't have that core, and that's why my philosophy is that a goalkeeper has to have very strong core and their leaping ability, okay, because that ball is in the back of the net over your head in a split second. And that's a big difference between college and high school ball. You don't, unless you're playing for a top, you know, high school in the country, or, you know what I'm trying to say, right? But in general, most high schools, you know, you don't face the shots with that velocity that you face in college. And I think that goalkeeper is not ready for that. So when they come in, the curve of adjustment is very short, right? So that's, you know, that's the approach that we want to have. Also, you said that the commitment, and I agree with you 100%, because you need that commitment, because in college, there is no such thing as everybody plays. You know, there is no such thing as, you know, the coach likes me and he's going to play me better. The ideology every college you go to is that you have to put the work in. And in fact, a lot of freshmen are asked to do a lot of things like the rest of the team, and they may not get a lot of playing time, or hardly any playing time, depending on what program they go to. So the commitment has to be very, very high, which I agree with you guys. Can you suggest, you know, some things that incoming freshmen, or, you know, seniors, juniors, whatever, that they should keep in their mind that they should do prior to coming to on campus? Ash?
I would say all around being the best version of yourself, like mentally and physically. Also being prepared for like what you're walking into. Make sure you know like this what you want to do. Like I know personally with our team, we've had people come in and realize that college soccer is not what they want to do, and they leave. And so I would say, you know, figure out if that's actually what you want to do. Make sure you like your team. Mentally prepare yourself for the work it's going to take, both school and soccer, because you have to juggle both of them. And then physically make sure you're in shape, because if not, it's going to suck.
Sam, what do you think?
To jump off of what Ashton said, like, make sure you can make time for both school and soccer. Like, everyone says, like, student comes first, which, like, is true. Like, make sure, like, you're passing your classes, doing your homework, like, doing all that stuff, and then you can play soccer. My biggest thing that I did freshman year was make a schedule for the month, planned out every day of the week, and that really got me through everything. Another thing is like staying in shape. Like just because you go to practice doesn't mean that you're in shape. Like you have to put in the work outside of what your coaches see. So that would be my advice.
Very good points. Very good points. Yeah, you know what? Academics are priority, because God forbid something, you know, an injury happens and you can't play anymore. You know, you still got to go through your academics, right? So academics is, you know, and we emphasize that as coaching staff, that your academics got to be intact, because guess what? If your academics is not intact, well, you're not going to be able to play, right? Although there are tools available to you at the college level, like, you know, tutors, right? That would help you. The coaches monitor your progress, so it's not like you're left alone, because again, you're there to do your academics in conjunction with your soccer. Okay. So you have, Sam, what you said is so spot on. You have to be able to balance both, because one works together with the other. Because at the same time, you're also expected to participate and contribute in the soccer program. It's not one or the other, you know, unless you're not a student athlete, unless you're just a student. You know, if you're a student, God bless you. You know, you can join a after school activity. Actually, they have what is it, intramural soccer, right? At Widener, which other schools have as well, and just for fun. You know, it's not competitive. So if you come as a student athlete, it's not an easy task. But then again, like people say, if it was easy, you know, everybody would be doing it, right? Uh, Another question I have for you guys as returning players: what do you guys do as the returning core of the team to welcome or make the incoming freshmen comfortable, um, maybe take the stress away, maybe show them the ropes? Because again, like you said, everybody's nervous going into their freshman year, and we feel, not only as coaches but you guys as well, because I'm sure you learned this, that chemistry is important, right? So if you come in and you don't have that environment where, oh man, this is cool, okay, I can see myself being here, I'm welcome, I'm this, I'm that, your performance is going to suffer, as well as your both academics as well as on the field, right? So what do you guys say, or from your experiences, what do you guys do to make freshmen welcome?
I think one thing that really works for us is we do the big sister, little sister thing on our team. So every upperclassman is assigned a freshman and incoming freshman, and you're their big sister is what we call it. And you're in charge of, making sure they're excited to come and ready to come to preseason. Just keeping in contact with them. If they have any questions, you want to make sure they feel comfortable to ask you about them. Because it can be scary going to an upperclassman or coach about a question and you don't want to ask because you're scared to ask. But this way it gives you somebody who you feel close to and have talked to before to ask questions to. So I think that is a big thing for our team, and it really works well. Sam thinks, but
Sam, what do you think?
No, I agree with that. My freshman year, having a big sister, it was definitely easier to transition from high school to college, just because like she was always there. I could ask her questions. She would give me like the inside scoop of like how to get prepared. And then another thing I know we did was a lot of not a lot, but we did what we could with COVID going on. We did like team building activities. Like we did a whole scavenger hunt around campus. So making them feel included was like a really big thing. And I know that helped me out my freshman year and made me feel like a part of the team.
Yeah. I tell you, last year's freshmen had such a difficult, situation because, here you are looking to go you're looking forward to go to your college experience, and all of a sudden, you got to sit there and go through these Zoom calls that we had. And by the way, I think that you guys did a fantastic job with our Facebook, group that we had, and being accountable, to the regimen that the coaching staff gave you to stay in shape. And it wasn't, 1 or 2 weeks. I mean, it was just months on and on and on. So the fact that you guys stay positive, engaged, and you contributed, your training videos and all this stuff, which, in a nutshell, all what I just described, plus Ashton, the program that you described, Big Sister, Little Sister, it's a form of mentorship, which is exactly what I discussed earlier, right? Having, someone, I mean, a mentor sounds like, oh, he's my mentor or she's my mentor. Like, they've been through all these things. They have all this vast experience. And, that's why they have the title mentor. But really, all it is having someone who's been there, even if it's a few months ahead of you. You know what I mean? You guys are a mentor to somebody who did it the previous day because you got a one-day experience, if that makes sense. So I think those are all those things are great. And, I'm glad that you guys are pointing all these things out because, again, a lot of incoming players have that anxiety. And, hopefully maybe we can get a program that, older players, or not older players, exactly what you said, players have been there a month or two, or even half a year, or even a year, they can mentor, other players. One of the things that I want to address is that having been recruited by one coach, and we discussed this also with Alex. A lot of college coaches that are, they get a job and then a better opportunity comes along. So you always have a change in head coaching positions that, don't last that long because, again, there are jobs. So better opportunities come and head coaches might move on, right? So there's always the opportunity that the coach that, recruits you, although in your situation, you guys had two coaches and Coach Fran is still with the program. So it's not as, different as if you would just had recruited by one coach and that coach has moved on. But in your situation, the head coach has moved on. So this fall, you're going to have a new head coach. How do you guys feel about that? And did it play a role in anything that you've done since you found out that one coach has moved on and the other one will be coming in? Sam, you go first.
For me, since I was recruited by Fran, it's like weird because Fran is still there, but Coach Dan isn't. But then Coach did make a really big impact on me and like did help me out throughout the season. And I do think it's gonna be a big like change up for all of us, even though we were recruited by like either Dan or Fran. Like I think it's gonna be a change for all of us just because we have to get used to like the new coaching style, who she is as a person and who she is as a coach. So I do think like it's gonna take like a couple weeks maybe to get used to her and like what she wants and all that. So
Ashton?
For me, I was recruited by Dan, and I feel like I was a little scared at first when he left because I was like, well, he recruited me and now he's gone. So I was a little nervous by like who we were going to end up with after that. But personally, I was a big part of the interviewing process when getting a new head coach. So it was really interesting to see the different styles of coaching that it's really out there. And with the head coach we have coming in now, I think she will really like fit with our team. She's very much like Dan, just the woman version, I would say. But I'm kind of more like excited for the change. It's like, to me, it's exciting. I'm excited to see what she's going to do with our team, but it's also sad to not have Dan anymore. But it will be super exciting to see what she's going to do with our team. And like Sam said, getting to know her and her coaching style.
So you feel confident and comfortable because you kind of knew ahead of the, you were involved in the process, that I say. So
Yeah.
it did make you more comfortable.
Yeah, for sure. And I got to speak to her multiple times already. So I feel confident with her leading us.
Do you feel now that you have a role to play and pass that knowledge to other incoming players that may not have not had the opportunity to do so? And
Yes. I would say if you have any questions about her or anything, she's also super open to any questions you have. And I always tell them that. Ask her whatever you want, ask me whatever you want.
listen, by the way, all these things are great, great conversation because they're all part of life. And although this might be, a still academic environment slash, sports, you guys are going to be in, the workforce sooner than later, right? And these are the things they have to face all the time. I mean, you have one boss and he moves on with a different job, different promotion, and you're there, and you got to deal with a different boss coming in. So it's part of life, Personally, I'm on my fifth year, and I've had this is going to be my third head coach. So I see doing my job. I enjoy working with the goalkeepers. I enjoy, dealing with all the college aspect issues, challenges, the victories, the defeats. I get to live with you guys every year and create new memories. The sad part is that every year you have certain players that graduate, right, that you spend time with, and it kind of makes you sad. But then you have new players coming in. So, my memories get just, they relive, I relive them every year. But again, having three different bosses, it is part of the challenge. But to me, my loyalty is to the players. I try to do the job that I was hired to do, and everything else just, fits in. Another question that I want to ask you guys is, how do you guys see, or if you see a difference between a goalkeeper lifestyle on campus, training, managing injuries, mindset versus a field player? Is there a difference? And if so, what is it? Ashton?
I would say there's a difference, not so much like on campus lifestyle, but more so just like the typical training lifestyle. I mean, most times like a training would look like we warm up together, everything like that. But then the goalkeepers go over here and do their thing, and our field players go over here and do their thing. And we typically come together in the end. But the work we do is very different from the work they do at practice. And we have to figure out how to work together to win a game and stuff like that. And I would also say the fact of just like, I mean, any goalkeeper could tell you this, just being on the field, there's no one behind you. Like, you have to basically be perfect out there. and be there for your team, because when it gets through all of them, you're the last one there and you have to support them. And I think that's super important. And your team should trust you in supporting them, which comes with time and practice and stuff like that.
Do you feel that you have to be perfect all the time?
Yeah.
But you're not going to, right?
Nobody's perfect, but trying to be the best version of yourself is what's really important.
So that's a very strong point of mindset for you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You said that you guys do different work than the field players. How so?
So, like I said, typical practice would look like they're typically going through, I don't know, let's say they need to work on their shooting or something like that. They'll go and make different plays to get up to the net and shoot. And then at the end, they'll come together and maybe shoot on the goalie, while the goalkeeper might have to work on their, I don't know, high balls or something like that. Well, I'll go with my goalkeeper trainer and you, and you'll work on high balls with me. And then we'll come together and they'll take what they've been working on and I'll take what I've been working on and we'll put it together and have a whole practice.
Sam, what do you think?
I agree with everything Ashton said. To add on, the thing that makes goalies and field players different is like, if you're on the field, you have 4 defenders, but a goalie, and you have like 4 chances to start. For a goalie, you have 1 chance. So I feel like mine and Ashton's work rate is like harder than the field players, just because as a goalie, there's 1 starting spot. So yeah, like as a goalie, you have to like be friends with each other and like love each other. But at the same time, like that competitiveness needs to come out, because I know like I don't want to sit, Ashton doesn't want to sit, the next goalies don't want to sit. So we're all working together, training together while still trying to find that starting spot. While, like I said, like on the field, you have different chances to start. You have 10 other spots to start at.
That's a very interesting dynamic that you just mentioned. And this year, you guys are going to have 2 more keepers coming in, right? So there's going to be 4 keepers fighting for a starting spot. I'm glad that you mentioned that, because that's something else that coaching staffs look for, and I think that it gets overlooked. So a coach looks for a player who's a teammate, right? Not somebody in a positive way, teammate. And here's the point I'm trying to say. You want to cheer your teammate, even if that teammate is trying to, for the same position as you, right? You want to cheer that teammate to do the best that she or he can, right? But at the same time, you got to have the competitive edge to try to beat it out, which are 2 contradicting scenarios, but it shows, in my opinion, one's character. And that's what coaches, these are the little things that coaches look for, in my opinion, that don't get discussed with you guys, that maybe others are not aware of, but the fact that you have in this scenario with 4 goalkeepers vying for a starting spot, while at the same time wishing the best to one another while you guys are on the field, is very difficult psychologically, right? But at the same time, it's a great trait, and coaches look for those little things, because if you are living in the me culture and you are, on the field, because, especially preseason, everybody plays, right? Because we're looking to evaluate players. So if you're living in a me culture and you just sitting there, playing your heart out, you just got done, and then your next goalkeeper has an opportunity to play, and you sitting there, and you can just see by your body shape, and a lot of things are being said without even you opening up your mouth once to say something, right? Your body shape, your attitude, that you're not interested, and you actually looking that hopefully the other keepers will not do as well, so you can win the spot. Those things are being noticed by coaches. So I'm glad you brought that up. That's a really, really good point, and it's not just for goalkeepers, it's for field players as well. But I think that the bond that you guys are creating, regardless of how much you play, when do you play? Because don't forget, every goalkeeper has a different year. Although this year you're going to have 2 freshmen coming in, but guess what? Next year you're going to have 2 freshmen behind them, right? So it's always graduating. You always have an opportunity to play, as your college path grows. You know what I mean? Maybe the freshmen are coming in, are not mature enough yet or seasoned enough yet to win a spot, but you don't know, because, believe me, I've seen it plenty of times where a returning goalkeeper is not behaving properly or is not doing the work, and then you have an underclassman do the work, sneak in, and win that spot, you know. But again, now what happens with that returning keeper? Well, you got to be able to cheer your fellow goalkeeper, and that's a big trait. Last question that I have, and I'm trying to manage the time here for you guys, is where would you rank mindset in this scenario, and how does your mindset change from the beginning of your freshman year? I know Sam is only a sophomore. Aston has been a junior, so you have a year, you know, again, COVID and everything all ahead of Sam. But how does your mindset change from the first day you walk in the university to where you are now? And then how does it change throughout the season? Is that too much of a broad question?
No.
Go ahead, Sam.
I feel like from when I started my freshman year, first day of classes, first day of everything, my mindset was definitely like, there's so much happening. Like, I got to make friends. I got to meet the soccer team. Got to do my classes, got to meet my teachers, professors. Like, so much was going on that I didn't know really what to do. And then once the season hit, everything changed because it wasn't necessarily like I was pushing my classes to the side, but it was more like I wanted to focus more on soccer and be with the team and spend time with them. So I'd like knock out all my school stuff and focus on the team more. And then I feel like to now, coming in, about to start preseason in less than a month, my mindset changed again because I do know the team except for the freshmen, incoming freshmen. So I feel like it's not necessarily me worrying about meeting them, and it's me worrying about like my little sister coming in, making sure she's all set, and me making sure that I'm all set to do the best I can and make sure I'm in shape. So I feel like a lot has changed from my first day of freshman year to now, if that made sense.
Yeah, it did. Sam, S.
Just kind of going off of what Sam said, I think the mindset coming into your freshman year is like all over the place because, like Sam said, you have a million things to worry about and you don't know anything or anyone. So when you become someone like me who's a junior, like I know the team, I know how to play soccer, I know how to handle my classes with soccer. So it's more so I would say I can focus more on the soccer aspect because I know how to juggle my classes with soccer and I know I'm going to be able to do it because I've done it now for 2 years. So it kind of like takes some weight off your shoulders as when you're coming as a freshman, you're like, oh my God, I can't do it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to juggle all this. And like Sam said, now I can worry about making sure my teammates are set, my little sister coming in is set, and the freshmen are okay. And now with a new head coach, making sure everything's going to work out and stuff like that. So now it's more of like a straight line rather than like when you're coming in freshman year, you're like all over the place.
Sounds to me you're going from the being, from the needy, like when you're coming in as a freshman, I'm needy of help and I'm needy of this, to now you're more like a caregiver role because now with that mentorship role that we were talking about before, right? That's a great thing. Okay, so last question before I let you guys go, and I do appreciate your time you spend with us, is I want to give you my example, then you guys can give me one of yours, hopefully. I'm looking for some hidden tips that either we haven't thought about as seniors going in, families don't know, seniors going into a college environment, that you guys might think of. And I'll give you mine. And I created actually a list of 10 things. I created a list and I actually wrote it, sat down and I wrote things that I have experienced from incoming freshmen and other athletes in the last 5 years. And hopefully I'm looking to grow that list as I'm talking to more and more, college athletes. So one of the things on my list was that the 10 things you should do to make your life easier, your college experience easier on campus. When you come in, instead of coming in on the day that you do, the last possible minute, try to get there as early as you can, right? Moving in the dorms as early as you can. And then once you everything is in your room, start spending time to learn. where the cafeteria is, where the trainer's room is, where the stadium is, where the practice facilities are. And this way, you know how long it's going to take you from your classes. I'm sorry, how long it's going to take you from your one building to another. So you're always on time for your training, for your classes, for your games. All that good stuff. What do you guys think?
I think that's super important because I remember freshman year, I was like, I have no clue where anything is. And our school's not even like crazy big, so I couldn't imagine if I was somewhere like giant, I'd probably be so lost.
So, do you guys have a hit nugget that you can pass on to the incoming freshmen that maybe we haven't thought about? Can be anything. Doesn't really have to be as lengthy as mine, I guess. I don't know. Sam?
I say for me, when I moved in, like I didn't really walk around campus because I feel like I didn't have to because everything was online. So I know coming the fall, I'm going to be kind of like screwed because I don't know where any buildings are except the CAF and the library. Those are the two buildings I know. So definitely what you said, like walk around campus, find your classes, make sure you know what buildings are what. But then another thing I know I did was once I did move in early. I didn't wait till the last minute. As soon as I got everything set, my room set, I made sure to leave the door open. And like if people wanted to stop in, they could. That helped me like meet new people and make friends in my hall. So that was like a big trick of the trade for me. It's just leaving the door open.
Yeah, good point. Good point. Same thing. You don't have something. You don't have something else to point. Come on, give us a nugget.
I don't know. I would say, don't be afraid to like join clubs and stuff. Because I remember my freshman year, I was like, oh, I'm not joining anything. I play soccer. That's it. Like, I'm not joining anything else. But now I'm in my junior year and I've joined other things. Like I'm part of our Widener Athletic Leadership Initiative, which makes you like meet so many more people and get your name out there. People know who you are, which is to me fun. Like people be like, wow, I know her. I've seen her around, especially a school like Widener. Everybody knows everybody most of the time. But I would just say, don't be afraid to go out there and do what you want to do just because it may not be cool or whatever. Your friends aren't in it. Go make new friends. I would just say, don't be afraid. And don't be afraid to mess up either. If you get in there and you're like, oh God, I want to be here. That's fine.
You gotta try it, right?
Right.
No, that's important what you said, because there's got to be life outside of soccer and academics. You need some downtime and recovery. As long as, and that's another point that I bring in my list is make sure your time management is spot on. That's another big thing of mine, not just for college, but, where I am. I mean, I don't know if I don't think I've ever showed you guys this, but I preach this all the time. I have a ledger. Oh, where's the camera? I have a ledger. And I actually keep, daily activities, like my daily activities. And then I also write, like, if I'm always doing Audible, books every day. I hear, because I don't have time to sit down and read. So everything is Audible for me, And then I take notes down. Oh, I heard this. So I got to implement it. And, so that has helped me a lot with my time management skills. Because I'll be honest with you, I'm still am a lot of times late for a lot of things. But I'm never like late, for business or for training, unless of course I'm driving to Widener and there's like mad traffic. That's one of the bad things. I got to travel so far away. So even that, I tried to, I've managed to put my time schedule. If I have training with you guys at 5:30 and it's only an hour drive, I better live 2 hours away, because if I live at this town, I won't have any traffic. I'll be ready. Unless, there's an accident. Sometimes it does happen. It's inevitable. I mean, but the time management skills have helped me. So I put in my little nuggets that it's great to have activities outside, because you need that recovery. You need to have friends outside your teammates. You know what I mean? Your personality, Sam, is different than Aston's, and your interests might be different. So you need to have that interaction, but make sure you take care of your other schedule, which is your academics and your soccer. If we have training at such and such time, make sure you're there. Make sure you're on time. Make sure and everything else will work out. So in closing, do you guys feel that, you can give us something, or would you like to add something for our incoming freshmen or anybody else who wants to get a better perspective what to expect going into a college freshman year, regardless if you're a, field player or a goalkeeper, maybe something for the goalkeepers. Ash?
I would say to just like overall to the incoming freshmen, it's going to be hard work. It might even suck sometimes because classes suck, and sometimes soccer sucks because you're running or this or that. But personally, if you love the sport, you'll love it and you'll figure it out. I mean, like balancing your classes through your soccer, it's going to be hard, but you'll do it. And it'll make you a better person overall and teach you so much that you won't be able to get anywhere else. So I would just say the hard work will pay off.
And you do have a support system, right? You got your teammates,
Yeah.
you got the coaching staff. So you got, trainers, you got tutors, you got a support staff, you got tools that will support you to become successful, right?
Yep.
Awesome. Sam, what do you think?
I would say don't sweat the small stuff.
Nice.
It's going to be challenging come from high school where your whole day is planned out, what you're doing from 7 to 3. Rather than college, like your classes are split up. Don't sweat it. Like you will get through it. It will be challenging to get used to your new schedule. And on top of like having to go to soccer after and then not being back in your dorm until late at night. But it's only the small roadblock and we'll all get through it together.
Welcome to adulthood, huh?
Yep.
Well, great. I really enjoyed, spending time with you guys, and I appreciate you guys spending time to come with us. Maybe we could have you back at the end of the season and, do an interview of post soccer experience, this 2021 post COVID experience. I'm certainly looking forward to it. I think that, we're going to have a very, very good, season. I did forget to ask you guys one question, but I'll save it for next time. But I am very, very anxious to get started. I think that the incoming freshmen are going to be spectacular. I think the returning players like you guys, this spring season, I work with both of you guys. I think you guys complement one another. There's nothing wrong with healthy competition. I'm here to support both of you guys. I got both of your backs. I hope you know that. I hope you realize that. I hope both of you guys have a lot of shutouts and do a lot of great things and put us in conference finals on the way to.
That's the goal.
That's the goal, right?
Got it.
On the way to the invitation for the, NCAAs, right?
Yep.
Cool. All right. Listen,
Excited.
you guys train hard, stay in shape. I know both of you guys are playing in a league, right?
Yep.
Important?
We don't have any games, but just practice.
You haven't played games yet? When are you starting? When's your season starting?
It's not like that. Like, I guess the team didn't get into the league fast enough for us to have any games. So
That's disappointing.
yeah.
Well, keep training.
You'll be proud. I'm in an indoor soccer league.
Which one?
It's an adult league.
Turf?
Mm-hmm.
I got to get you on the futsal court.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, huh?
Uh-uh.
Yeah. Okay. Ryu is a beast on that court. We just, by the way, last week it was the USFF Futsal Nationals in Atlantic City. You want to talk about goalkeeping, okay? You should have saw some of these guys and girls doing some awesome goalkeeping. And those are the things that we're going to be working in the fall anyway, Sam. Half splits, K-saves.
I did one of those the other day.
Good. You better keep doing it.
I didn't go all the way down, but I did it.
You better start stretching to get down real quick.
I can't stretch.
By the way, do either of you guys watch Euros?
Not really.
No? Okay, because I was going to say there was one of the goalkeepers spot on, dead end, point blank, zero reaction time, half split save in the semifinals.
Wow.
Futsal, Sam, futsal. Well, we're going to be working on those things. So, I can only tell you practice as much as you can because they're coming, to the neighborhood of Widener very, very soon.
I've done a couple so far now at practices.
Okay. Half splits, K saves, block saves. I hope you guys have added some inches to your leaps because those plyometric benches are going to be out. Okay. Yay. That indoor facility with the Widener's name is waiting for you guys. And, it's always hot during the summer there. So we're gonna add at least 1 or 2 inches to your leaping ability this fall. All right.
I'm ready.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well, once again, guys, thank you very much for helping us out with this venture. We're just doing different interviews with players to help out other incoming, freshmen. And we'll make a date. We'll make another one of these after the season is over, so we can discuss post-COVID, fall season, blah blah blah. All right. Wish you the best. Stay in shape. Work hard. Do enjoy the summer, though. Do enjoy the summer. And I'll see you guys in a few weeks. Okay.
We have our
Yes.
team meeting tonight at 7,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. Just want to remind you.
Yes. No. You
And let me know if
you
you can't
becoming
get that
very
link.
quickly like a trusted assistant because I
I'll
get
tell
the
you
news.
everything.
I get the news before everybody. All right, Sam. Aston, both of you guys, great fun talking to you, and I'll see you real soon. Okay.
All right.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.
Bye.